Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Everhart Museum. Brian Keeler. It's my great pleasure to be here with Herb SImion, who's the honored artist here, is having a one-man show. I guess it opened when, in November? Is that right? Did the show open then? And Herb is a sculptor, a printmaker, and a painter. And he studied with Hans Hofmann back in the 50s and Robert Motherwell. So it's a great tradition that he represents. So tell us about the show, Herb. So, how did it begin? What was the inception of the exhibit?
What was the, the exhibit is really the decision of the curator. He looked at all, well, he didn't look at all of it, but he looked at work in my house and in the studio, and he selected them.
This is James Lansing?
James Lansing.
The curator, okay.
And then this is their main gallery, but they figured that they needed more space for my work, so they moved out all of the permanent collection and put my stuff in, which was really very, very thoughtful of him.
Yeah. How many?
And then he extended the show 2 weeks. You know.
Yeah.
This is the second reception.
So how many years does this exhibit represent?
Well, it's mainly metal sculpture, so I would say it would be from 1970 to the present.
Okay, but the self-portrait, that probably goes back further? The self-portrait that you have here, that probably goes
Well, that's earlier. I was a painter.
So tell us about studying with Hans Hofmann. What was that like? I guess he introduced you to the push-pull method. It's a type of painting that this abstract expressionist developed, and Herb studied with him. So,
Well, I just studied with him for half a year, and you drew from the model, and he would go around and critique each person's drawing and actually work on people's drawings. I didn't quite understand what his theory was. I read his book, but I guess it was a good experience. You know?
Oh, good. You also studied with Robert Motherwell?
Yeah, Motherwell. You see, I got to a point where I felt blocked in painting. And that's when I moved into sculpture around the 60s. And the first thing that I did was a small bust, a small head, which is in the attic of my house, and I haven't looked at it in a half a century. It's in a box up there, along with my first work was in plaster.
Good. And you were the head faculty member at Wilkes University for many years?
Yeah, well, I came to Wilkes in '69, and I was there for 23 years. I was on the faculty for 23 years. There's Bruce.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do this in different segments. We'll stop here in a minute, and then we'll go to one of your pieces and have you talk about one of your pieces, if you would. So this is the end of this first segment. We're going to do another one later with Herb talking about one of his paintings, or one of his sculptures or drawings.